Hey, today I'll be talking about episodes 49 through 51 of Legend of ZhenHuan. After killing Wen Keduo, the Empress Dowager has become quite sick. The Emperor refuses to go and see her and is back to spending all his time with Lingrong, although that might be because of the sketchy incense she's burning. Meizhuang has maintained her coldness to the Emperor, but stayed loyal to the Empress Dowager, and for that she promotes her to Imperial Concubine. Guowang and ZhenHuan are living the honeymoon life, and Huanbi is being jealous and sour-faced as usual. As they are cozying up, painting a picture, who should walk in but Dr. Wen. Okay, now of course I don't subscribe to the idea that you deserve to be with someone just because you're nice to them. It doesn't work that way. And yet I feel Wen's pain here. It's clear that Wen was holding out hope that with ZhenHuan leaving the palace, he would be her rebound. Her relationship with Guowang makes it clear that it wasn't the Emperor that tore them apart, she just didn't love him. That would be crushing for anyone to finally realize. He does still support her though and wishes her the best. He's a good guy. Meizhuang notices Dr. Wen's lowered spirits. She tells him to stop moping so much about someone who doesn't even like him. He should let it go and move on. Take your own advice, girl. The Emperor has continued to frequent Lingrong's place. Longyue is super big. That's pretty much the palace update. One night at Lingrong's place, the Emperor loses consciousness. Lingrong springs into action and tells her maid to hide the incense burner. Obviously, she doesn't want anyone to know about the sexy time incense she got at Victoria's Secret. With the Emperor sick, the Empress sticks by his side day and night, and Chi-Fei seizes the opportunity to go and see her son. After she attempted to poison ZhenHuan in episode 29 and the Empress punished her by separating her from her son, she has not been able to meet with him in private. With the Empress busy taking care of the Emperor, she finally gets a chance to meet with him in secret. Unfortunately, she's overheard by the Empress's maid crying about how evil the Empress is for keeping them apart. She also tells him to work hard to become the Emperor so he can make her the Empress Dowager. As the mother of the Emperor, her status would then be higher than the Empress's. Her plan obviously gets back to the Empress, who is not happy to hear that she is plotting against her. The Emperor finally recovers, but his brush with death seems to have made him really miss ZhenHuan. He's strolling around when he spots a girl riding a horse and he's like, oh, that's a good distraction. The woman, whose name is Lan Yi, gets the news that she is being made a consort, which really sucks. You have your whole life ahead of you and then bam, you're now married to an old man and you're going to live and die in the palace. And you have to pretend to be grateful about it. With no other option, she accepts her new position as second-class female attendant. Guowang and ZhenHuan are still having a grand old time playing newlyweds, and on their way home one day, they run into a man who's been bitten by a poisonous snake. They help him out with medication and water. After a while, he wakes up and it turns out they should have let him die because he's a raging Who the hell wakes up after being saved and immediately starts talking about what they would do to a woman like her?
Sexually.
Anyway, he's Dzungarian. They were at war with the Qing dynasty at the time. And again, he starts talking about how his people will take over hers one day. Like, dude, we literally just saved your life. Finally, his servants show up and take him away. Lan Yi is married into the palace. The Empress Dowager and the other women are a bit peeved with her lowly status, but none of them are even half as unhappy as she is. The Emperor goes to see Lan Yi, and it's just as gross as we've come to expect from him. Lan Yi doesn't even pretend to be interested, but it's not dampening his spirits. He continues to see her exclusively for the next few days, and by see, I do mean see. When Guowang returns to the palace next, he sees Lan Yi. They know each other because she used to ride horses near his house. He also saved her life once. She tells him she had no choice in the marriage and hates it here. Since nothing can be changed, he encourages her to make the best of the situation. As if he can tell how happy ZhenHuan and Guowang are, the Emperor suddenly decides to send Guowang on a mission to Tibet to quell some unrest. He says it's because he needs someone covert, and since Guowang rarely goes anywhere, he won't be recognized. It seems as if the Emperor trusts him with the task, but that's immediately proven wrong as he assigns some spies to follow him and make sure he doesn't do anything he wasn't asked to do. The Emperor is one suspicious guy. Guowang comes home to tell ZhenHuan the news. He's also got something from Dr. Wen, a concoction that will make a person sleep like the dead for 7 days, Romeo and Juliet style. The plan is for ZhenHuan to fake her death, and then they can sneak her body out. Guowang will then pretend he wants to live away from the palace, find her, and they will live happily ever after. But before that, he needs to go to Tibet. There's a goodbye scene, and I have officially hit my limit with seeing Huanbi's face. This has been happening for the entire drama. ZhenHuan reunites with Guowang, Huanbi. ZhenHuan decides to accept Guowang, Huanbi. ZhenHuan happy with Guowang, Huanbi. I get it, she's sad. Despite the fact that she's exchanged like 12 words with him and he's married to her sister, this isn't the sad pining love they're trying to make it out to be. Don't forget, this all started because he said 2 nice words to her after she embarrassed herself trying to seduce the emperor and failed. Yeah, remember that when she was in love with the emperor and she embarrassed herself and everyone else, making it super obvious? Please just marry her off to Ajing and stop I'm sorry, that's been bottled up for a while. Guohong's journey is supposed to take 40 days. A month passes and ZhenHuan and his mom are looking forward to his return. Meizhuang is finally able to get out of the palace and come to the temple. It's been years, so they're obviously overcome with emotion.
只一味地哭做什么?
Meizhuang is really angry when she sees the conditions ZhenHuan is living in, and the nuns fall over themselves trying to explain. Meizhuang quickly homes in on the ringleader, Jingbai, and tells her to go outside and sweep the walkway. Meizhuang has such a confident and assured air now. It's great to see. They chat about Longyue, her family, and general palace news. Later that night, it's ZhenHuan with the biggest news though. She's pregnant. I know there are a dozen other girls in the palace with tragic stories, but I feel so bad for Lan Yi because she didn't ask for this life at all. She didn't go to the concubine selection or anything. She was just living free, riding her horse, and then bam, snatched up by a pervy old man. Shitty. And you can tell from her interactions with Guowang that she's not always this sour, but this situation would make anyone pissed 24/7. Living in the palace changes all the girls. Although with Meizhuang, I think she's really improved herself. She's so cool now. It might be partly due to her higher ranking, but she seems so much more confident. I think it's really nice that the Emperor's Dowager has the power to promote the girls as well. You don't have to rely on being good in bed to get ahead. So, ZhenHuan still has her best friend, her fiancé is on his way home, and she's got a bun in the oven. The next 25 episodes are just going to be her living happily with Guowang and Meizhuang, right? Right? Till next time, thanks for watching.